Sound speed.
Sound is speeding.
And
Go Nuggets. All night long, y'all. Okay.
hi, I'm Reese Paulson.
Welcome to Exposure Therapy. I'm Mateen Srami.
Let's try it again. We'll
Yeah,
go
let-
introduce.
Yeah.
All right. Hi, I'm Reese Paulson,
And I am Mateen Srami.
and welcome back to Exposure Therapy.
Welcome to Exposure Therapy, everyone.
Woo! Today we're doing episode 2.
We're doing episode 2, yes.
Movies that messed us up in a
Yeah.
good way.
In a very good way. Yeah.
We all have movies that we love,
Mm-hmm.
but today we're talking about the ones that changed how we see movies
Yep.
or reality,
Mhm.
life, time,
Yep.
or penguins walking into oblivion. If you know, you know. And I guess we should define a bit what messed
sure.
up means
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
us.
Mm-hmm.
So something that stuck with us for days,
Mhm.
made us recontextualize something,
Yep.
or hit emotionally in a way we didn't expect, and also maybe changed or defined our taste in movies.
Yeah, I think just feeling things in all sorts of different facets, but the kind of consensus for all these films is that they were able to change something about us in a way for either a short time or a long amount of time that sticks with us for now.
All right. Well, I guess should we just hop into it then?
For sure. Yeah.
Okay. Round one.
Okay. Round one.
So for round one, I chose the first movie that broke me, made me cry. And this might be a surprise, but Everything Everywhere All at Once by Daniel Scheinert and Daniel Kwan.
Yeah. The Daniels.
The Daniels,
Yeah.
as they're called. An absolutely just breathtaking movie to begin. So how did this, I guess, alter my chemistry?
Yeah.
At the time, I really didn't know, because I remember I had gone to see it in theaters with like my two film friends in high school, and up until that point, I had never really cried at a movie. Like, I understood, stuff was sad, but like watching Marley and Me with the family, I was like, why are you guys, crying? Like, I know the dog is gonna die.
Yeah. So you were soulless as a child.
I wouldn't say soulless. I just didn't. I don't know. I just didn't understand it.
No,
yet.
absolutely.
But with Everything Everywhere All at Once, I remember loving it through, and it's making me laugh and feel all these huge emotions. And during the finale, I'll try not to spoil a ton, just in case anyone hasn't seen it yet. But the score, rising with the cinematography, and it's just a ridiculous moment, but
Yeah.
it's so earnest in every aspect of the craft, and the acting this is reality. I could believe every second of it, and it started to make me actually think of my own life, and I started comparing myself to it, and I think that was like the first time, in my brain started to catch that and allow me to just start like bawling in the theater. And I remember not knowing like what was wrong with me, and I looked at my friend Carlos and I was like, I don't know what's happening. Like, they're
Yeah.
This is insane. I like what's happening on the screen
it's
should
an
not be
everything
making
bagel.
me cry like this.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was a huge film for me that I think really got me to actually fall in love with the craft.
Yeah. No, I think Everything Everywhere All at Once was really an amazing film that seeing it in theaters was great. I remember I got very teary-eyed during that film, and it makes you feel things, and it really, I understand why it won Best Picture. I understand why it won all these awards at the Oscars, because it's the epitome of what film really is giving people an emotion, and it's what really the purpose it comes across to everyone, that film is meant to show and give a mirror to the audience on what they feel, and to kind of reinforce that it's okay to feel these things, or if you are feeling these things, there's ways to correct it or to adjust. And Everything Everywhere All at Once, the Daniels film, the one with the googly eyes, is just, The epitome of that. It's really good. So that's a very good, strong first round pick.
Love you, Mom.
Yeah, I love you, Mom, too. I haven't shown you everything everywhere at once because I don't think you'd like it, but it's very good.
Jody will love it.
Jody would really like it, but we'll see.
Now, what's yours?
Yeah, so mine is a limited series. So I'm sorry to everyone. This is Exposure Therapy. It's a film podcast, but hey,
It's still cinema.
it's cinema. It really is. So mine is Normal People, the limited series by Sally Rooney, or the book based off Sally Rooney, that she wrote that, and then also I believe the showrunner is. Let me just give a little look here because I want to credit these people. Catherine McGee is the showrunner, and then based off the book written by Sally Rooney. So yeah, Normal People was amazing. So I remember watching that in the summer of after freshman year of college, and being a romantic, I guess, and like having these very like strong attachments to feelings and emotions. Seeing what Connell and Marianne go through over like the span of 4 or 5 years, it's like what they do. This is your heart, okay? This is your heart, your little. That's your heart, and they take it on a lovely little joyride, and then they stomp on it. You get mugged. You get shot in the gut. You have a GSW, and you're sent to the trauma center in Pittsburgh. Dr. Rabinovich then heals you up, okay? You're on the episode of The Pit for like a couple minutes, and then you're back out there, and now everything's okay. Connell and Marianne are in love, and it's amazing.
Heart
Oh, wait!
again.
It's gone. Pow, 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 pow. Heart's gone. And that is what's amazing about Normal People. It is a master manipulator in terms of just the work, of just the writing. First, you're like, oh, Connell and Marianne, there's cute, will they, won't they? Oh, Connell's a bastard because he just is not able to express his emotions, and he's certainly not emotionally mature. I think maybe he grows a little bit at the end, but then Marianne there's a love that they have, and the show just captures what people go through with love, what normal people
Exactly.
go through. It's amazing, and the cinematography is great. I don't know what the Brits do. I don't know what's in their water. And they just do great work. It's artistically amazing. The acting is great. It's what I think really made Paul Mescal and Daisy Edgar Jones just go into the stratosphere of the acting pool.
And as you said earlier, of holding up a mirror, that's what it does. And like you said, Normal People. And
Yep.
I think that's why it's such a powerful thing. It resonates with so many people. This is just the reality of life.
It is.
As beautiful or as ugly as it might be, this is just how it goes. And
It's what they do with that show is just transcends all at times. And I remember watching the last episode and just melting. I was bawling. I was like, oh my God, Connell needs to come back from New York.
there's nothing in New York for you, Connell.
Yep. There's nothing in New York except an internship, and I know. But anyways, so that's really good. It sticks with me to this day. Yep.
All right. Well, moving into round 2 then.
Round 2, yes.
This is the existential hammer section.
Yep.
So the film that I chose for this one is actually a 2013 documentary from Joshua Oppenheimer called The Act of Killing. And it is not an easy watch by any means.
It certainly sounds really uplifting, so I wonder why it's not an easy watch.
So I hadn't even seen this until this year, actually, which I thought was kind of mind-boggling. Because the whole premise, I'll start with the documentary, is that it's documenting basically the genocides that happened. Gotta make sure I get this right. It's talking about the genocides in Indonesia. Let me reset. What makes this worse to me, with it being a documentary, is I had no idea about what was going on,
Yeah.
which was the genocides in Indonesia
Hmm.
back in, I believe it's like the 60s, 70s.
Hmm.
Yes. And how the whole government and institute systems of that country
Hmm.
have built themselves to celebrate their murder, their actual extermination of human people.
Oh my God.
And when you're watching it, there's a sort of dissonance because the documentarian is recording these people
Hmm.
that are openly admitting, like, yeah, this is the best way to kill someone, or like, this is how I would do it. And they're laughing about it, and they're lifting their children up on their legs and bouncing them, telling them about it. And it, if that doesn't just like kind of knock something in your brain and be like, oh my God, this is the reality of certain places today
Oh my God.
still. And even after this huge documentary in 2012, there hasn't been any huge like social reform or anything in Indonesia. So then it just sits with you once it ends, because I mean, what do you do with it? How do you respond to that?
It kind of
And
has you like feeling helpless in
yeah,
a lot of aspects.
so that's what I put in my existential, because there's so many different lanes of thought and pain and
Hmm.
stories that stem from this one film, and
Hmm.
it's all reality.
Hmm.
So that keeps me thinking. I'm not allowed to push it away and be like, it's just a movie.
Yeah.
This is real life,
Hmm.
and that's what gets me thinking.
Yeah. You know, I before you told me that, I didn't really realize you know, the mass killings in Indonesia and any of those awful acts that have been going on. And that's the crazy part is it does create this wake up call, but oh wait, there's still nothing you can do about it. It's still going on. Um, wow, that's that's
But
amazing.
I
That's
think
incredible.
if you've at least seen that, you've seen that film and you know that now, you can use that knowledge
Hmm.
to better yourself at least,
Absolutely, it's a
because
way of
everything's a choice.
yeah.
And that's also one quick beautiful kind of really beautiful thing about the documentary. Uh, it revolves around this main guy
Hmm.
named Anwar Congo,
Hmm.
who I mean is not a good guy because he killed tons, hundreds, maybe even thousands. He doesn't even remember the count.
Oh my God.
And he's going through these reenactments in the documentary,
Hmm.
uh, basically just so he can rewrite the story and not feel bad about it anymore, because he realizes within himself, his body realizes that something is deeply wrong with what he's
Hmm.
done,
Hmm.
but everything around him is like, no, you're the good guy. You've done good. You're a hero. And so he's never asked to be more, and he's never forced into making that decision, that choice to be better. So
Wow.
that's the sad part of the beautiful bit.
Yeah. Well, that's I think that's again the power of our medium. It brings light to so many things. Even today, there's power in the camera and the power of revealing and truth, and how that can really set the world ablaze. And it can be used for good or bad, um, good and bad. Um, but wow, I don't know if I'll be able to bring myself to watch it, but that certainly is, yeah, that certainly would screw me up in a lot of ways
What's
for a short
your
period of time.
what's your existential hammer?
Yeah, my existential hammer. Well, it's a lot older of a film. It's a narrative film by Andrei Tarkovsky. It's
Ooh.
Solaris by Andrei Tarkovsky.
Solaris.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
really really interesting
It's
to
trippy.
just sit there and watch.
It's trippy. It's first of all, it's great. It's like sensory overload. You know, the way that they just record the natural sounds of the forest that the main character lives in, and the cabin he's in before he's then transported up to space to try to find his wife who's long lost. And
The planet is sending memories.
yeah, the planet sends memories, and it's really. I just kind of I had to watch it for an assignment, but I was just bathed and soaked into this like crazy trippy environment that the main character's in. And Tarkovsky, I think, that was kind of his main goal, I think, in kind of immersing the audience into the character's struggles and into what he imagines and what he sees aboard the space station.
Something with that movie, because I remember it being a sci-fi film, has effects. And
For sure.
it being, from, when you say, even like...
I think it was in the mid-70s. Let me try to find the year here.
Lots of practical effects is what I'm trying to get at. Like,
1972.
yeah. What I'm trying to get at is it's so many practical effects, and I think what they, like, this might have, maybe not, but I remember vividly, because they do a lot of practical, just cinematography effects. Like, it's not like, an alien or a monster or something. It's literally just a shot, and you don't really know what you're looking at, but it's beautiful, it's evoking something, and that's like what Tarkovsky does so good, is his cinematography is always just hanging on. He's very deliberate, and that, at least for me, was like, oh, there's ways to like do effects and make interesting pictures, basically, without the need for heavy computers and like all of this software. And because if we can do it with just the camera and some technical know-how, that is amazing. And I mean, anyone can start working on that then.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone can do it. And that's, I think, the power that Solaris and a lot of these kind of lower budget sci-fi films did. And especially, maybe not lower budget for the time it was in, but a lot of these older sci-fi films show this know-how and this, with a little bit of elbow grease, so much of the film can be imagined and envisioned. And it's really powerful. But yeah, I think there's so many great moments in it. The acting is really well done, and there's a lot of great moments between subjective and objective camera movements, and when are we going to pull away from a subject, when are we going to go to a surveillance camera footage, when are we going to go to a handheld type style, and the soundtrack is really good too. It's really well done, very synth heavy, but yeah, Solaris is truly a marvel, especially during the time of Soviet cinema, with the ways of censorship and all that stuff. Solaris is really well done.
Yeah, that was another thing I kind of forgot all about, like the Soviet censorship for a minute there. One other Tarkovsky film that is amazing is Stalker, and that could be a whole episode, and it probably will be at some point, where I just come in and talk about the huge, expansive subgenre of The Zone and Stalker.
The Zone. That's a great genre.
It's so good.
But yeah, it's a trippy. It's a hammer of trippiness that bangs you on the head, and then when it's gone, you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll make a cereal and get on with my day.
All right, round 3.
Okay.
Why did you show me this, Pig?
Yo, why you show me this?
Now, I chose this as a topic because I actually, you might know of this, have a little birthday tradition with one of my friends, David, my good friend David. Every year for his birthday, I can't even remember.
Shout out David for real.
I know, but basically, I show him a messed up movie on his birthday, and it's fun, and it's not always like messed up just to like screw with you. I think I think it started because I showed him Seven. I was like, let's watch a cool like detective movie. Yeah. And Seven is very much
so cool.
Not like family friendly.
No.
So then it just kind of stuck. But Anyways, what I brought was not 7 for this, but it is a good pick.
The Hateful Eight.
No, what I brought for Why Did You Show Me This is Grave of the Fireflies, the 1989 animated film by Isao Takahata. Yeah, this is a beautiful, beautiful animated film that takes you back to World War II Japan, near the end, and I don't want to say too much because it's one of those ones where the less you know, the better. Um, Once again, I brought David and some other friends along to see this at a showing, not realizing what we were getting into.
Oh my God.
But Grave of the Fireflies is just a human story, and there's only one way it can end, and you know that from the beginning, and it does like everything in its power to make you wish, like for anything else, but then it finally does end the film, and this is another one where it's based on reality, so then you're forced to think on it even further beyond your screening because you can't just push it away again.
Yeah.
This is what the US government did. They firebombed, all of these Japanese civilian cities. They used science on how to best firebomb and kill the most. And then, even when that wasn't enough, dropped 2 nukes. The film doesn't even have to really touch on the nukes all that much, just based on the firebombings alone. And the movie just breaks your heart. And if it doesn't break your heart, I'm not saying, there might be something wrong with you. It's just like, were you watching? Were you paying attention? Were you thinking about it? Because, like, it's a movie designed specifically to crush your heart and just why are we like this? Why does mankind do the things it does?
Yeah.
So that's what I brought for Why Did You Show Me This?
Yeah.
And I'm asking you now to all show you or to watch it. I want to show you Grave of the Fireflies, and then you can comment like, why'd you show me this?
Yeah, I think I haven't watched it. I bet I will watch it, and then I'll go to Reese and say, why did you show me this? Because, I think there's a why did you show me this, but also there is, it's the reason. It shows it's the dark sides of humanity. It's, there's so many films that showcase the good of humanity, and then there's also so many films that showcase the darkness of it. There's kind of the other side of the coin, with Oppenheimer, especially the ending scene where, spoiler alert, Oppenheimer goes into the Oval Office and talks to the president and says, I believe there's blood on my hands. And he says, there's blood on everyone's hands, and basically telling him to buck up. And that certainly, is a shock to the audience. So, yeah, that's a great pick, and just, showing the power of how film can highlight the darkness through a medium that a lot of people think is just made for lightness and lighthearted jokes and comedy and childish behaviors, but also can show absolute bloodshed.
On the topic of comedy, that I was thinking about comedy on the way here today, because I think comedy, it simply is just a release mechanism.
Yeah, it is.
Laughter is a release mechanism, and that's why comedy fits so perfectly within so many different genres. Especially tense ones, drama, dramedy, horror, dark comedy. All this stuff, and there's always comedy as a offshoot of it. So, I mean, if you think about it, maybe laughter is the best medicine, and will bring everyone together.
It's proven that laughter is the best medicine. There's a scientific fact about that, but I'm not a scientist. Don't quote me on that.
We are not doctors.
No, we're not. But yeah, that was a great pick, Reese.
So, why did you show me this?
Yeah, so I actually believe you did ask me this when we went to see The Flash by Andy
That's a good one.
Andy Muschietti. And I have nothing against Andy Muschietti. He's a very good director. He's directed the It films, and he did, he
Really?
Yeah, he directed It and It Chapter 2.
I didn't
and
even
he
realize that.
I believe co-created or either was the showrunner for It, Welcome to Derry, and all that stuff. Like, he's a great mind for
I
the
love
picture.
the whole like dairy and it
Yeah,
world that's being formed right now. So.
absolutely. And it's nothing. I think
The Flash was nothing like that.
The Flash was nothing like any of those. So The Flash is like a storm of multiple things that went wrong. So The Flash actually was supposed to come out in the spring of 2018. And there originally was going to be the people who did Game Night and Lord and Miller, who then went on to produce Spider-Verse and all these great films, and people were really excited about it. And then it went for a full page one rewrite because apparently the studio didn't like it, so they had to go and rewrite it. This is the whole saga. And then they had to rewrite it. Then they decided to get Mark Waid on board, try to have him write something about The Flash, who's an actual great comic book writer who has written The Flash. And then Ezra Miller decides to be a criminal, and they kidnap a teenager across state lines. They throw a chair at innocent people in Hawaii, get in a bunch of fights, chokeslam a girl in Iceland. So many things.
Just
And
how to ruin your career in
101.
50 different ways immediately.
Yeah. And so it was this perfect shitstorm, some might say.
Of his own creation.
Of their own creation. And there was a lot of writing snafus and directors dropping out. Finally, they did the movie. And it wasn't good. And I think it goes to show, and it is a lesson to Hollywood, and Hollywood has had many lessons like this, where if something is not working, you have to let it go. But they didn't, because they wanted to still capitalize and everything like that. And there were some good moments, and I think some of the good moments were really involving Michael Keaton's Batman, Sasha Calle's Supergirl, a lot of those. Not involving The Flash. It sucks.
I'm still glad it got released.
For sure.
I'm happy that it
showcased
finally
people's
came
work.
out. But yeah, I wish. I mean, if you're gonna replace, your Batman with all these different Batmans and make that such an easy breezy part of it,
Yeah.
why couldn't you just replace your main Flash?
Yeah.
Why couldn't you have him be a different actor? It's like, oh yeah, I look different.
Yeah.
Because that's literally kind of what you were doing with
Yeah.
the Batman and like
For sure.
everyone else.
And I'd like to apologize to James Gunn, who I believe was held at gunpoint to then say that this was the best superhero movie that he's ever seen. I'm sorry, James, and I'm sorry that whoever hurt you needed you to then say that in front of cameras. And I'm sorry.
Yeah, and once again, with the whole effects, kind of coming back to that, just because you can do a bunch of crazy computer-generated effects doesn't mean you should. Because
Don't do it.
I'm telling you, practical is so good.
Practical is good.
Like, and you can absolutely marry practical and CGI together.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's at. That's where it's the best.
Yes.
And look at District 9. Look at
Yes.
Chappie. The
Yes.
ones that like defined modern day CGI. That's what they were doing. They were marrying together practical and CGI.
But then you also then look at Avatar and you look at Tron Legacy and you look at these, which also defined modern CGI, and they gave their artists time.
They gave them time. I will
and
say
money.
that.
And that's what they needed to do. Because it's very hard to have a man, run into the Speed Force. And apparently, it's really easy to bring Christopher Reeve back from the dead for a face image. And it's really great to bring back George Reeve, who, shouldn't be coming back as a CGI model for Superman. Because we all know the story of George Reeve and Superman, don't we, kids? And why we shouldn't have done that.
In editing and effects, there is a triangle of production of which you can only have 2 points, not all 3. You can have fast, you can have cheap, or you can have good.
Yes.
Not all 3.
Yes.
You can have 2 of them, not all 3.
Precisely. But anyways, my blood pressure is now skyrocketed, so I'm okay. On to the next round.
Okay. That 3 rounds, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, we got. Yep.
However, I got a brief little extra segment.
There's
that
the
I wanted
knockout
to,
round. Yes.
to throw in.
Yes.
Film nerd corner. This was just a little something
Yay!
that I wanted to talk about one of the movies of all time for
Shouldn't
me.
have said yay.
For me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's actually I've brought a lot of kind of dark or heavy sad ones. For this last one, it's much lighter. Monsters Inc. I love.
Great movie.
Absolutely love
Great.
2001 Monsters Inc.
Phenomenal.
And I almost put this up in my list, but I want to talk about those other ones. And
Yeah.
this one, I had to really think about like why it meant so much to me as a kid. Because did you have like a film of choice as a kid that was just on a DVD that you played on repeat all
The
the time?
Incredibles.
There you go. See,
Yep.
that's also an amazing movie. Oh my god.
Monsieur Incredible.
No, but for me, and you know this, you've seen this. There was at one point in my life where I could reliably, front to back, recite the entirety of Monsters Inc.
Yes.
That's how much I watched this movie. And while I was thinking about what about it meant so much to me, what was resonating with my kid brain, what first came to mind was the door chase scene.
Yep.
Towards the end. And that whole sequence is just a kinetic jaunt of storytelling.
Shout out to the door chase scene for real.
But without even realizing it, as a kid, like my brain was seeing this and was like, this is the storytelling, this is the editing, like of cutting from completely different worlds and places and time, literally, because you're going through these portal doors.
Yeah.
But having your audience, your viewer, as simple-brained as 1-year-old, 3-year-old me can see that and go like, I am able to follow this story perfectly throughout what's happening, and I can see what's happening. I know what's happening. I'm feeling what's happening.
Yep.
And I think that's just why I loved it so much and didn't realize that at first, was like, this is peak as far as I have seen in my 3 years on this planet.
Yeah. The kitty brain was in flow state.
It was in a flow state.
Yeah.
And then
It's really good.
And then furthermore, just building off of that, after you have that amazing kinetic scene, the editing starts to slow down, and you have the really tense scene with Mr. Waternoose, and you still have like these hard cuts, but the frame is filled, so it's intimidating. And then after that whole resolution, and you get the very, very slow, drawn out, but it's wide, and you can breathe. The goodbye to Boo.
Yeah.
And being able to
It's really good.
perfectly flow that energy while watching stuck with me for my entire life, clearly.
Yeah, it's a really good film. I remember watching Monsters Inc. I didn't watch it as much as I did The Incredibles, but yeah, The Incredibles was certainly my child flow state film. But no, I get it. That's it's really good, and there's certainly a lot of other great scenes. One of my favorites is just their walkout scene where they trip over each other, and that's really good. That's really well done. Great comedic timing. Yeah, that was a great choice, Reese. That was very good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are we doing mine now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have a little film nerd corner one.
Perfect.
Let's check here. Oh, yes. So, mine is Hugo, directed by Martin Scorsese.
That's a good
And
one.
a lot of people, when I say, "Oh, I love Hugo," they're like, "What's that? You freaking nimwad!" It's great, and you are the nimwad here because Hugo's great. Hugo is phenomenal. The film is, it's like a warm little hug. It's like, oh, Reese, let me give you a hug. Hugo's great. It's so good. And it's like a warm blanket. And you have these amazing performances. I think Sir Christopher Lee, that was one of his last performances he did.
Really?
And he was this bookstore owner. And it was so charming. And it oozes charm. And it follows Asa Butterfield's character. Who Asa back then was a young child actor who's now in Sex Education and all those other shows now. But he played Hugo Cabret. and Jude Law played his father. And I think Martin Scorsese did such a great job of adapting the book, because the book is basically completely told through picture. And so
Really?
film's a great medium for it.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
it's told all through picture.
Oh.
And so you gain the story immediately, and it's a love letter to old French cinema.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's Scorsese literally made a whole movie that's just a love letter to French cinema.
And the beginning of movies as they are today.
Uh, oh my gosh. Why is his name eluding me all of a sudden? Trip to the Moon.
Yeah. Lumiere?
That is Lumiere?
I'm not, well, let me see.
No, that's the Lumiere brothers.
The Lumiere brothers.
And then
Yeah.
there's, oh my gosh, we're film college graduates.
know.
We should know this.
I know, one sec. Trip to
Excuse
the
us for
moon.
a second while
I'm
we
so sorry.
look up.
One sec. Yes, it is Georges Méliès.
Méliès.
Yep.
Méliès. That's
Yep.
right. Once again, coming back to the whole effects in films, Méliès is. I'm hesitant to say the first, but like, if not the one of the first,
Yeah.
to actually really start making like edits and effects to his film to achieve these like actual effects. So
Yeah, they're
an
amazing.
example, a really quick example is he started using simple cutting to, he smacks an enemy and they poof into smoke.
Yeah.
Which for the time, people seeing that, they're like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Literally launching a whole group of guys to the moon. A movie from the 1930s?
1907.
1907! Oh my God! About going to the moon, and you
believe.
actually get to watch them go to the moon. I mean, it's definitely not our
Actually,
moon as we know it.
1902. Actually,
Even further.
earlier. Yeah.
1902.
Yeah.
Méliès is sending people to the moon, and if that's not just what filmmaking is, the ability to take what is impossible and say, no, this could be possible. This could be beautiful. Let's feel about this.
Yep.
And think about it and talk about it.
Yeah.
And then from there,
Yeah.
less than 100 years later,
sky's the limit.
we're on the moon.
We're on the moon. Yeah, it was great, and it was such a great film. And Scorsese really did. You can tell he just loves the work that he does. And Hugo, it's a love letter to it. I could talk about this film for days, for hours. It's really good. There's a scene where he's like he's like stuck on a train track and everything, and he just builds tension so well through it. And you can tell that the film is so meticulously crafted and storyboarded and researched. I remember watching that film, and oh man, it was really good. I think I was like 8 when I watched it, and I just was like, "Whoa, you're telling me movies can be like this?" Like I was just watching Harry Potter, bro. I don't know what this is. I watched Thor, but then I watched Hugo, and I was like, "Oh my God,
This is
movies.
how they did it.
Absolute
The
cinema.
amount of time and effort that it takes to go in frame by frame and simply just to like rotoscope someone. We have it so good today
We
with
do.
computers.
We do."
Like even like not so long ago. Like look at I was showing you Michael Jackson's one of his music videos.
Yeah.
That I saw on
Don't
TikTok.
stop till good enough. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the most amazing mask I have ever seen
Yeah.
in my life, in my existence. I could never, well, maybe if I really, really, for years on end, that's all I did was rotoscoping. The fact that they did that by hand,
Yeah.
mind blowing.
It's amazing. So Hugo is like my film nerd corner movie. I could watch that movie all the time. You all need to see Hugo by Martin Scorsese. I don't care how much money you have to get in order to watch it. It's that good, and you're gonna fall in love with it.
Just watch out for the train.
Watch out for the train, please. Yeah. So that's mine. It's really good.
Well, that brings me at least to the end of my list of what I have prepared. Was there anything else that you had?
No, I was Some big news happened yesterday. We got Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere universe has now been bought by Apple TV, and so all of his film rights and TV rights are now going to be going to Apple. So expect to see some great killer fantasy films and shows in the coming future. He has full creative control, by the way, of all of it. It's pretty crazy.
Well,
that's my news. It's just some news, okay?
Then I guess I'll hit us with our little outro.
Absolutely, yes. What is his outro?
Well, it was just gonna throw a question to them, basically.
Okay.
What's a movie that messed you up?
That messed
in a good way, of course.
In
but
a good way.
Would you watch it again? That's the follow-up part. So tell me about it, and then why or why not you would watch it again. I would not rewatch Grave of the Fireflies if I can help it.
Yeah.
Like I will recommend it as much as possible.
Of course.
But I don't think I can make myself watch it again. And then, also, I got one other question. Is there a movie that you loved but never want to rewatch? Like that.
Absolutely. So. We'd love to hear from you guys. I'll hear from him vicariously. So, have a great day, everyone.
Thanks for watching.
Go Nuggets.
Go Nuggets.
Cool. That's a wrap.
Cut.